So today we're going to talk about what's quickly becoming my favorite hover strolling bait. And I'm not surprised that the pros want to keep it secret. I know the Jackall drift fry has been getting a lot of press, and you guys know if you watch my other video that I love it too. But I would not be surprised if this bait takes over after people start figuring it out. The bait is the Raid fish roller, and it comes in 4 sizes. It comes in a 6.5. It comes in a 5-inch. It comes in a 4-inch. And it comes in a 3-inch. So I've messed with these baits quite a bit. Hopefully it will help you make more informed decisions and you can figure out what size is best for your water. With all these baits, there's always a sweet spot of where to place the jig head for maximum roll and flash. I've messed around enough to know that there's also a sweet spot as far as jig head size and hook size. So my goal is to make it easier for you guys so you can literally just go buy the jig head, buy the plastic, rig it up, and go fishing. Each one of these baits has marks on the top to make easier rigging, and really it makes it so you can make this bait pin straight when you rig it up. And once you have the sweet spot as far as placement, hook size, jig head size, you could just keep doing it over and over. Personally, when I'm retrieving these baits, I want more of a horizontal presentation. I don't want nose down and I don't want nose up. In order to get that presentation, you need to pair the plastic with the right size head and hook. All the jig heads I used in this video are the Owner Range Roller jig heads. They're pretty easy to come by now, so I felt comfortable using those jig heads because they're readily available. When it comes to the 3-inch, I messed around quite a bit with the size of the jig head and the position of the jig head. The best size I found was a 1/16 ounce with a 1/0 hook. So the major key that I found about this bait is you had to retrieve it sort of quickly to get a nice roll and flash. To be perfectly honest with you, I'm not sure where this is going to fit into my fishing, but for others, it may be perfect. So now onto the 4-inch. I've had this bait for a little while and it performs really well. I've caught some really nice fish with it. This is the size the pros are supposedly fishing with and trying to keep secret, and I believe it. I think the 4-inch is the best performing size out of the bunch, and it's the most versatile when it comes to rigging and ease of use. So for the purpose of this video, I used the 1/16 ounce head with the 1/0 hook, and I placed it at the very front of this bait. The other size I've fished it with a lot, which is actually on it right now on this one, is the 1/32 ounce size. You can fish it a lot slower and there's still a really nice roll, but as you see, this one is on the top and the 1/16 is out the front. But the roll and flash is really good on both of those setups. Next is the 5-inch. In this video, I rigged it with a 1/8 ounce size jig head and a 3/0 hook. And you can see there's a nice gap. The 5-inch is really nice too. It's got a nice roll, nice flash, easy to use. I will definitely be throwing this one. For this one, I put the jig head on the top of the bait. That's where I found the best success with the 1/8 size jig head. So last is the 6.5 inch size. This is a pretty big piece of plastic for hover strolling. This was a little tricky. What I found is I started off with a lighter weight, the 1/8 ounce with the 3/0. And it was sort of hard to get it to flash and roll. I did get it to flash and roll, but you had to use more of a longer stroke and putting the longer, slower stroke and putting some slack in the line, and then it would do its thing. The normal it wasn't really working real well with the 1/8 ounce head. Then I put the 3/16 ounce on, and the heavier weight made all the difference. This one I also rigged on the top right there, and it started to roll really nice with the 3/16 ounce head. That's why I've always said there's a sweet spot with the weight and the presentation, because with the lighter weights, this one's not going to do anything. You're going to need to at least use a 1/8 size weight, and I really thought the 3/16 was better. But it looks really cool. It's really interesting. It's a big bait, and if you got some big bass, this thing is going to be cool. I'm interested in it. My overall opinion is this is a really awesome line of baits. The 4-inch is the most versatile. The 3-inch, I'm not sure it really has a place in my box. The 5-inch, I will definitely be messing around with. And the 6-inch is gonna be a little situational for me, but I'm psyched to throw it, especially if you're around a good class of fish. I think you take that 6.5 around good sized fish, prefrontal conditions, and it's gonna work nice. So guys, please like and subscribe. I hope this video helped you make some informed decisions on the size, which ones to buy, how to rig them, and what they should look like when you're on the water.